it's kind of like that. It also kind of gets tedious when they're doing that, but just looking for one small item, because there are some times where you can only move on if you collected a certain amount of things. Like, I was ready to just get on with Crystal Cave to be done with it. Just, all I had to do was just go through the boss and I'd be done with that level. But oh no, I couldn't go through that boss because I just needed to find 7 more bananas. Just somewhere in Crystal Cave there were 7 more bananas. Or you have to be wandering through this vast grey cave looking for tiny bananas.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to remember if I ever got to that level where I first played Donkey Kong 64, because I did, but I don't remember how far I got.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to remember.
Yeah, it's probably best you don't. I mean, there are some stages where they kind of have dark color schemes that it works, like in Creepy Castle, because, well, as you probably guessed from the name, it fits for the whole theme, but Crystal Cave, it's just, yeah. Then there's some more colorful stages like Fungi Forest that just appear out of place, although to be fair, I found out the reason for that is because it was a level meant for Rareware's previous game, Banjo-Kazooie, but they didn't have enough time to fit it in, so...
Huh. So they just stuffed it random out of place in Donkey Kong 64.
Basically.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Actually, that brings me back to the positives, because that's what I was meant to be talking about first. The soundtrack is also done by Grant Kirkhope, who also did the soundtrack to Banjo-Kazooie. It's a good soundtrack. I still prefer the general sound style of the country games overall, but I will say that DK64 is still a great soundtrack. And also, the bosses, with the possible exception of Cutout King, I really love facing against the bosses in this game. Bosses which give you a good challenge, and then there are also some bosses like Mad Jack, who basically is a giant Jack-in-the-Box, and he's the kind of boss which, in a fun way, mind you, usually has you tearing your head out, like, God damn it, I didn't want to go, no! That kind of reaction, yeah.
That sounds, fun.
Yeah. Fun if you're kind of a masochist, but yeah.
Basically, fun if you're the type of person who plays Fallout New Vegas on hard mode.
Basically, yes. But yeah.
So I'd find it fun.
But yeah, overall, I'd say Donkey Kong 64 is a good game in that basis. And now the cons, and I mean cons as in bad element, C-O-N, not cons as in monkeys, but we're really not. I've already talked about how the worlds are too vast. My gripe, which I brought up in BGT, was the fact that the humor could sometimes be immature. I mean, seriously, the burping keyboard, I still can't get over that. The burping keyboard, what the hell?
Well, you shouldn't be too surprised. This is the same company that made Conker's Bad Fur Day.
True. The other gripe I have, which, again, I think I mentioned in BGT was, is that the collected stuff can be marathon. I'm not quite as harsh on it as some people do, because I can kind of understand why it's there. Because, honestly, at the time, 3D platforming was still a new field. It would be a while before Mario Galaxy came in to streamline the whole thing. But actually, it might have even started earlier with stuff like a Crash Bandicoot. But yeah, it'd be a long time before something came and streamlined it. So platforming wasn't just about just wandering landscapes looking for certain MacGuffins. And so, can imagine where we're probably trying to go, okay, we need to find a way to make this better than Mario 64 and better than Banjo-Kazooie. How do we do that? I know, we'll make the worlds bigger, we'll add more stuff to look for. That was probably their mentality, and I can see why that would work in theory, but now that sort of time has passed on and other 3D platformers have come out, looking back on this when stuff like Mario Galaxy exists, part of me still feels it's a little much to do, I think.
Yeah, basically perfectly understandable. Whenever you have a world that's that gigantic, you really don't want to have to go all over the place and find all the stuff to do.
Yeah. Oh, and before any smart ass pops in, yes, I'm well aware of the warp pads. That was the only thing that made it even bearable. But even then, when you get to the worlds, you still have to find a freaking warp pad to activate them. You have to find the other...
You okay?
Yeah. Basically, Yes, I'm aware there are warp pads, but a warp pad is another thing to find in the gigantic, vast overworld, and you have to keep finding them in order to try and make that jump slightly easier.
Yeah. I can see how that would get boring. And I think I remember it being boring because I didn't actually finish the game. Don't judge me.
Yeah, that's the thing. After my DK, my fanboy sensation, the thing when I was younger, kind of got over it. It kind of pushed me after 201%. The reason why it's taken me this long to play it through from beginning to end because I remember just getting that gloomy galleon and just getting so sick of having to collect things.
I think that was exactly the same place I got to.
But yeah, the only last con I can bring up about the Econ 64 really is it can be summed up with one word. Tiny.
Oh, yeah.
I honestly, even after playing the game, even with all my hindsight right now, and even looking back with the nostalgia, knowing that she went through that very odd redesign, I still do not like Tiny that much.
It's like you said in VGT. Bland clone of Dixie.
Pretty much, yes. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not the fact that they've introduced a new character that I find annoying. I could perfectly understand if they had just introduced 3 new characters, and I understand why the change. But here's the thing, people often claim that Chunky is the same as Kitty, and they're not. I can bluntly tell you they're not. Chunky's a completely different size to Kitty, he's got his own moves, he can punch things, and he's got his own personality. In fact, Chunky I actually took a real liking to because he's the character who, on a character selection screen, goes, "Oh, me? No. Go with them. Yes, they're much better than me. Go with them. Go with them."
Yeah, I remember that. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I actually took a really good shot at Chunky. And I also kind of like the fact that even though he's such a big lug, he's a little timid. But yeah, point is, he is completely different from Kitty. There's Kitty, don't get me wrong, I like Kitty, but Kitty's a toddler. There is literally nothing connecting the two, so then Chunky and Kitty can stand alone as separate characters. Tiny, I'm still struggling to find anything apart from design that actually separates them. I mean, why not just make a completely different character? Because yeah, she has these shrinking powers, but that could have easily been done on with Dixie if she had just drunk that potion as well, you know? I mean, and okay, yeah, I'm gonna say it right now. It will probably lose me a lot of friends, but I will say it. The redesign for Tiny, it was odd and it made very little sense given that the younger sister suddenly went through a massive growth spurt. At least it gives her something different. At least it allows her to stand alone as a different character. Honestly, only thing I could say that was different about her, that separated her from Dixie, is actually something I really don't like. The fact that her personality seemed to be that she was pretty confident and very sure of herself. I don't know, it just rubbed me up the wrong way. The fact that she often crossed arms and go, "Yeah, I'm important, look at me, I'm tiny, I'm cool, I'm stylish." And every time I see her doing that pose of, I just think, you're 12. Yeah, you've got nothing to boast about. You're freaking...
Yeah. Land clones aside.
Yeah. So, in short, Donkey Kong 64... although I make it sound like that, it's not a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. It's a good game, and I probably do regret some of my harshness, but there are elements of it that haven't aged well with time, and elements which honestly could have been handled a lot better. So, yeah, if you want to try and play it again for nostalgia, I'd recommend it. I'll give you one tip though. Once you get all 5 cons again, go back to the first levels, Jungle Japes and Angry Aztec, just go back through them and get all 5 gold bananas in those areas. Because that will give you a major start. It'll mean you have to do a lot less collecting in the later stages, and it will be a bit more bearable.
Yeah, sounds like soundify.
Although, I will warn you, you may want to be cautious about Tiny's last golden banana and Angry Aztec, because that beetle, I'm not...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to elaborate, just that beetle. Moving on, so that's the end of the Get Name section for this month, and neither me or Sven have been watching movies again. We should probably get out more, but
Yeah, I suppose I could go out and watch the new Harry Potter movie, but serious case of CBA can't be asked.
Fair enough. So, we'll now move on to our final section.
Manga!
Alrighty, this is the new manga section, and I'll start things off, but a little word of warning. As I said last time, I'm getting sick of talking about Naruto, so I'm going to keep it very, very brief. So I'll just go straight to the summary.
Quick summary of what happens. Wars going down in the world. All the nations ninjas have united, and whilst Gaara does make a pretty cool speech, it's kind of led down by this one fact that Kabuto is now starting to use a jutsu to revive... Well, guess. Out of all the people Kabuto could revive along with Deibara, guess.
That's right, everyone!
I'm running out of ways to describe this series.
Yeah, it's not a joke. The only two people they haven't revived are Itachi and Orochimaru. The Akatsuki members have been revived. The Jinchuri have been revived. The Popokage has been revived. Asuma's been revived. Sai's brother has been revived. And on top of all that, Babazar and Haku have been revived. Pretty much every single dev has been undone for what is essentially a pointless battle. And what makes it even worse is that there's like one extra element that Kabuto reveals is that he has the ability to take control of their bodies and either completely erase their minds or make them intact for some psychological value. Which means we're gonna have a lot of pointless psycho battles at one point.
Oh boy, here comes the Bleach part of Naruto. The endless battles.
Yes, so that's all I'm honestly gonna say is shit happened, what the hell, because yeah, I'm sick of ranting on it.